Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the DML podcast. I'm Sean here with Kim. As always, we're going to recap the Ducks' recent play, talk some trade deadline, and much, much more. Well, maybe not much, much more. That's about it. But Kim, looks like we're both feeling rather beige today. But how are you feeling?
I feel good. I don't know about how I feel about the Ducks. Maybe my thought process on the Ducks hasn't really changed, I guess, because out of the break, the Ducks have been inconsistent, like usual. How are you?
Much the same. I don't think my opinion of the Ducks has really changed too much. Well, actually, maybe I'm a little bit more pessimistic on them than, going into Four Nations. They were going on a really good run of play going into that we thought that break might hurt them. But really, since the break, they played NHL 500. But like you said, inconsistent. There's been some good games in there, and there's been some terrible games in there that we'll get into. But maybe before we even talk about the Ducks run of play, we got to see Leo actually play in a Four Nations game, which we weren't entirely sure was going to happen. Kim, How do you think he looked?
Definitely shaky to start. It was 9 games since he last played with the Ducks. Bambi on the ice at times. He fell a lot in the first. And I guess kind of a cool thing, he said that he was going to play regardless of this game mattered or not. The game didn't matter because Sweden was out of it, but kind of cool that he was going to be in a meaningful game if it was the case. He got rocked by Brady Tkachuk, so that's kind of his highlight. He had one other highlight. He walked around, I think it was Faber, the other young guy there, next youngest probably. So that was a good little highlight from him, but he definitely looked more confident as it was going on. And I felt like this tournament was really about Sweden investing in their future. I put a video about that, broke down all of Leo's shift the best I could. YouTube wasn't liking the video clips. There's too many highlights, I guess, of Leo to put in the video. But the best thing for Leo, he got good coaching.
Oof.
Ouch.
Crow catching strays, but
he'll catching strays all podcasts. Trust me that.
Leo playing with some swagger ever since coming back. He's looked like the Ducks' best player on the ice. So the Ducks have been playing NHL 500. The start, the first game back is against the Bruins, where they win in OT. And you want to talk about inconsistent? I think this game just showed how inconsistent they are. Ducks have maybe their best first period of the season, and then kind of flame out. Anything else to add to that?
No, that's pretty much about it. I guess the positive thing when the first period, it was a lot about the kids. There was a 4-on-4 goal that was all the kids, and it got me doing the Squidward meme, future, because it was a great play by Zelli to strip the puck from Pasta, and then he got up to the board to Leo, who avoided a check, and then he got to Z, and Z and Lacombe did a little give and go, and Z finished it. So that was just crazy to see all the young kids on the ice, which is something we've been struggling with. I feel like we always put the vets out, key special plays or whatever. So that was good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. All team goals too, like that one you mentioned, the team goal, and then the second goal, maybe an even bigger team play. Tic-tac-toe. When have the Ducks ever gone tic-tac-toe? So many passes that then led to the goal. Great pass from, Gudas to Vetrano for that. For the tap-in, basically. Mm-hmm. And then the first period ended, and then it was all Bruins from there on out, almost. Bruins score on a 5v3. Bruins almost tie it up. It gets waved off. Then it gets overturned. It counts, and then we're going to OT. I guess the other thing to note was this is the game that Gibby went out. He just came back against the Blackhawks, but he goes out against the Bruins, and then he's out until the most recent game. So Dawson comes in, and he gets his 100th game as an NHLer. So, pretty cool. Not the way he probably wanted to do it, but he got it nonetheless.
I feel like quite a few of his games might be coming in for third periods for Gibby. That's always the running joke. Gibby always comes out after the second, but Gibson's fine, everything. I guess a lot of the concern, basically, is that the Ducks, out of the break, are having a lot of penalty troubles. It kind of started in this game, and it's kind of just kept going on through this whole break. There was a 5-on-3 they couldn't kill off. There's some other games, they had 5-on-3s they couldn't kill off, so that's a concerning thing, where before the break, I felt like they were doing a lot better on the penalties, compared to last year, too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and long 5-on-3s. It's not like it's a short 5-on-3 they have to kill off. They're having to kill off. Yeah, a lot of full 2-minute 5-on-3s. Don't care how good your PK is, you do that, you're going to let something in. But this was a happy game. We talked about Leo looking like the best player on the ice. Leo hits the empty net finally and gets the OT winner, and the Ducks win 3-2. Great to see Leo celebrating. He hit the empty netter, but he didn't think he was gonna. So maybe that's why he misses so many empty netters, because he never thinks he's gonna make it. Like,
there you go.
Get that confidence up, Leo.
That confidence from the Four Nations is real. I think I retired that video. Yeah. Karma is a female dog because, YouTube doesn't like the B word. But, this is also...
That game. Yeah.
Refs have been kind of bad now because I've been calling penalties, right? But yeah, I was going to say this was also Terry's 400th game. So, Timmy, congrats. I wanted to say Timmy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, then we just go into the Red Wings game where, kind of the poor play,
the end of the game from the Bruins game was terrible. And then you go to this game, and it kind of just carried over into the first.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Ducks look extremely sloppy, taking penalties. This is another game where 5-on-3, they score. I think they score on the 5-on-4 right after that. This game also was chippy to start. I mean, Vetrano had that one where he literally shoots it into the guy's junk, which leads to a penalty, which, maybe there's chippiness. This is the game that Z is going to get that suspension in. So I don't know if, kind of the chippiness is what kind of led to that. He kind of looks for a hit that maybe he doesn't usually look for because of that. But I mean, I think you already gave your comments in the video, definitely suspension worthy. You agree with that, Kim?
Yeah, definitely. I think Z actually gave a comment about today. It wasn't his intention to hit him where he did. It's unfortunate. I hope he's doing all right. Obviously, he wasn't going out there, but he thought that basically Rasmussen would have kept his head up because he did admire his pass. If Z was the one getting hit, everyone would have blamed Z for not keep your head up, kid. They would have blamed Z for not doing that. And so it's funny how that works. I mean, obviously you don't want to wish anyone bad on him, but just if it was Z, that everyone would have been having fun with it. So also the day after Z got suspended, Red Wings fans seemed very happy about Rasmussen being hurt. Sorry, obviously, yes, bad. Z got suspended for 3 games, which was a lot for his first time offense based on the league's decisions this year. That was about right. So
could have been 2, but yeah, not surprised to see that it was 3. Yeah, I guess kind of jump, but the Ducks got a goal before that. The Red Wings also got a goal. And yeah, so it was just looking like all Red Wings kind of early on, and we're not expecting anything great. But then Cronin pulls the goalie with 4 minutes left, and the Ducks just are living in the Red Wings zone, and they get one. Zelli gets a shot through, and then to tie it up, Cutter gets a sick backhand to tie it up, and then the Ducks lose an OT. But
yeah,
still,
they ran out of juice.
What a fight back! Yeah.
I guess the other controversial thing in that game is that Frankie Vetrano also got hit in the head with the side of a stick glove, and there was a call for 2 minutes, but he didn't get anything else, so just Z gets suspended, the other guy, Sherratt, gets nothing. It's kind of interesting.
I mean, Frank definitely sold it.
Frankie's a little flopper, man. He is a flopper. It's kind of annoying sometimes, to be honest.
I mean, it's that. I mean, he's Italian. What do you expect? If you ever seen the Italian soccer team play, they flop a lot. So I know where Frank gets it from. But yeah, like you said, kind of the Bruins came in this game complete opposites. Bad start in this one and almost great finish. Great finish until the OT.
Earned a point they didn't deserve. So yeah.
Yeah, stole a point. And then, do we want to talk about the Buffalo game, or do we want to just blow by it? This is
No, we can talk because, on a positive note, the Ducks scored 2 power play goals. They had a 2-0 lead. A 5-on-3 they scored. That was their first 5-on-3 they scored all year. Then 5-on-4, Leo at the buzzer. But the power play before that was bad. But still, you don't see that. So you think the Ducks win, right? And I guess you could call it a schedule loss because they ran out of juice. I hate that because they did all the hard work,
It's
took
the
lead.
Sabres, so.
Yeah, it's Sabres, yeah. It's okay.
Played, 2 pretty good periods, and then the third, just absolute collapse. Sabres score 3 times in 10 minutes.
Yep, and they lose in regulation. Don't get a point.
I mean, some of the goals the Sabres scored, there was quite a loose net. Maybe the ice crew could have helped out a little bit on that.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's kind of being nitpicky, because the Ducks looked terrible. I mean, Sabres were just living in the Ducks zone there in the third period. So then the Canucks come to town. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that Fabry did get hurt in this game. So did Dumoulin, but Dumoulin came back. Fabry did not come back. And we see in the next game, Colangelo is called up. So go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I was just going to say, after that Sabres game, the vibes are at all-time low going into the Canucks. I know the Canucks, were not playing their best hockey either, but still wasn't expecting anything too great. Yeah, Sammy got the call-up, so that helped. He's playing on the line with Cutter and Lundy, which is an interesting line. Oh, and also, I guess to note, this is the first home game since the Four Nations break. So
Ooh,
I remember getting
wow.
back in the Honda Center. That was a lot of fun. Going to say hi to my Usher friend. So yeah, Kim, you want to take this one away?
This was a great game from the Ducks.
There we go.
They definitely started slow. They got down 2-0 thanks to Myers, our favorite player from back in the days playing EA NHL. Because he was big and could hit. That's basically the only reason we liked him. But based on him, he's a playmaker. He had a great snipe, perfect snipe, and then curled it around in front of the net for a tap-in. But the Ducks weren't playing that great the first period, and the vibes weren't great, but the Ducks fought back and scored 5 straight, so we got chicken. They're perfect shots from all the players, too.
Absolute, yeah, great shots. I mean, Petrano with a snipe, Cutter
heating up.
Even he's climbing the leaderboards in the rookies goals. So yeah, I hope he keeps turning it on. Yeah, 3-point night for Strome and Terry in this one.
Strome are heating up too, man. Kind of becoming the Ducks' best player for the time being. We'll give him a couple games. Give him a little.
There you go.
Little flowers for the Stromer.
Yeah, thumbs up.
And also, guess who scored? And I haven't done it in a video so long, so I can do it again. Timmy hit the empty net because a Strome passed it to him. I felt so good to say that in that video.
Yeah, well, here's hoping that'll get Terry going.
I was so proud of the Ducks.
Game.
I was so proud. And then the next game, despicable. So bad.
Lose to the Blackhawks 6-3 in a game where they never got it going. Me and Kim were at this game.
Always.
And, Kim, yeah, I mean, most of the time we are.
Home
and
games.
then, Kim was just like, I still think she was sitting there like, I think they're gonna come back. They just have to play well for one period. They just have to play well for 10 minutes. They just have to play well for 5 minutes. Kim was a believer all the way till the end.
Until that 5-on-3 that they got and they scored. That was my limit.
But I guess there are some bright spots in this one. Leo, 2 goals, like we said, coming back from Four Nations, just different swagger to him, looking like the best player on the ice.
Leo, by the way, has 4 goals, 3 assists, and 7 points in his 5 games, versus his 18 points in his first 49.
Keep it up, Leo.
Keep it up, Leo.
Yeah, other bright spot I just want to point out, Comer gets the goal in this one. Still looking great. Frank Petrano got 2 assists in this game as well.
He's our leading team scorer now, right? He's beating Timmy now after the slow start Frank had. He's leading scorer. Oh, I guess
Timmy's got to pick it up.
I guess the other thing is that the Ducks celebrated Gibson's 500th career game in this one. He got it pre-Four Nations break, but he did celebrate. It's kind of like getting the 1,000th skater for a normal player. And only 31 goalies.
Are normal.
No, they're weird, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. Only 31 goalies in NHL history have played 500 games, so good for Gibby. Too bad the Ducks rewarded him with one of their worst defensive performances of the season. He only faced 24 shots, but I feel like half of those were grade A chances. So
yeah,
congrats, Gibby.
Assignments everywhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess Cutter and Terry got high sticked in this game. Cutter left. He got bloody and threw off his gloves and helmet. Came back. He got 30 stitches right under his nose, and they said they had to go in and out of his nose to fix it. He came back and played, and I thought he looked good. Terry got 10 stitches right underneath his eye, and
this happened when he was on the bench, right?
Yes. Yeah, Ross Johnston, count your days, bud. Him with the long stick, of course, right? He got hit in front of the bench, and it was hard to find. I barely could find that clip, but yeah, I found it. It's on our Twitter if you wanted to go see it. Terry says he took a slap shot to the face, if anyone asks, just so you know. It wasn't happening on the bench.
Of course, the Terry one, not going to be a penalty, but the Cutter one was on the follow-through, so no penalty there either.
The worst part of this game is that the Ducks kind of blew it opportunity-wise. This was a game where they could have moved up in the standings because the Flames and the Canucks lost. They could have been 4 points instead of their 6 points like they are now.
Yeah, I guess we didn't even talk about the playoff picture because, honestly, after the Sabres loss and after, that Canucks game, we could talk about that was a huge game because, if they lost that one, they're basically done. They win that one, and I think their playoff odds went up to 9%, and then they lose against the Blackhawks.
Back down.
3. So huge missed opportunity, like you said, and now it's basically going on a Cinderella run if they're going to make it. But hey, it's not 0. It's not 0%. So
speaking of which, the Ducks are kind of controlling their own destiny because a lot of the teams in front of them, they have games against them. They win those, they should be in.
The other thing we can say with the losses to the Blackhawks and to the Sabres, and then the win against the Canucks, it's kind of a trend that we're seeing with the Ducks. Losing against the bad mid-teams, but they're winning against the better teams. So maybe that's going to be in our favor because the next teams we're going to be playing against, I think it's Edmonton.
It's a back-to-back with the Canucks in Canada.
That's right. They're playing them again.
Blues, Cam Fowler's first game back in Honda.
I'm sure they're going to do something. I hope everyone is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I will fight you if you try to boo Cam on his return.
That
would just be ridiculous. But yeah, I think that about recaps the games. And unless you want to talk about more of a preview for the next games, Kim, or should we just... Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to mention some practice lines today. So, yeah, Z's suspension is over. So, Z goes back with Carlson and Killorn. So, not shocking there, I guess. Then it's still Vetrano, Strome, and Terry. So, not shocking. But then, the third line, a kid line, Cutter, McTavish, and Colangelo. Kind of like that. Fourth line, Johnson, Harkins, Leesons. The typical fourth liners. I mean, I like it, but this is what kills me, is that Cronin has called Z a center, and he said that McTavish likes the wing, yet McTavish goes back to center, and Z goes back to wing. You just flip them. And McTavish even says he likes the wing. Z likes center. It's like, why are you doing something they don't like?
Make it make sense. And then also that the Vetrano, Strome, Terry line needs to get broken up. It's just... I mean,
it's been working against these last 2 games. But yeah, I agree. It's better for the long term that they are separated. Because no offense to Strome, he's been great this year. Best year as a Duck. But long term, he should not be our number 1 center. And why are we making it a priority that he is? There's no reason to. Yeah.
I was going to say, I can't say any better than that.
Also, poor Zelli. It looks like he's still the extra skater based on today's practice, even though the Ducks lost, which used to be the thing to make one of them get in. And Minty he looked a lot better last game, I will say, but he definitely hasn't looked like confident Minty in these games that he's been playing.
I think that about Minty not too long ago, so I think it's just the cycle. I bet Zelli's going to get some games here, and then we're going to be complaining about Minty not getting games.
Yep.
You know what would fix that is if Beaker makes some moves at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
How's that for a segue, Kim?
Perfection.
So let's see. I think the Ducks only have a few players of interest to really talk about in the trade rumors. So maybe let's start with the one that I feel like I've been hearing the most news about, which is Gibson. Patrick was saying that Gibby's teams are the Canes and Oilers. Gibby's open to waiving his no-trade clause, but the Oilers have been reported to have said that they don't want Gibby because he's always hurt.
Yeah, it's pretty much between the Canes or Oilers if they get desperate enough, but the problem is Gibson's health, and that's why I don't think it's actually going to happen. I will say this is probably the first year where if Gibson was going to be traded, we already mentioned, I think this will be the one it's most likely going to happen. His numbers are the best since 2018. Some teams are desperate, and I feel like I just don't think it's still going to happen, but if it was, I guess I wouldn't be as shocked as I have been in the past years.
Yeah, maybe we should we start off by just saying what we think's gonna happen instead, or do you want to go like player by player?
Yeah, we can just say what we think gonna happen. That's fine.
All right, Kim, lay it out there. You're Beaker. What's gonna happen? Or maybe you're not Beaker, but get in the mind of Beaker and tell me what he's gonna do.
Man, I don't know anymore because Dumoulin was my trade bait, and now Dumoulin wants to stay. There's talks of extension, but also Dumoulin's probably your most valuable trade asset. I mean, that UFA, however you want to say it, but. Yeah, but now Dumoulin's the team DJ. He wants to stay. He's loved in the locker room. But still, if I'm Beaker, you have to trade him. You need Helly, Zelli, and Minty to play. It wouldn't be the end of the world. There's only like 20-ish whatever games left, so the kids rotating is almost a non-factor now. But like, if you're not going to trade him, like the Ducks feel like they're all in and make a big trade, because that would be the only reason I see to keep him personally.
You said that he should, but yeah, tell me what's going to happen. What's going to happen? What's he going to do? Not the shoulda, woulda, coulda kind of stuff.
He's going to trade Dumoulin. He's going to trade him, and that's all he does, other than some AHL deals.
All right. Well, I've kind of mentioned this take in the Discord, I think, before, but you're more optimistic than me. I don't think anything's going to happen. I think we even saw some reports out there of Beaker being one of the hardest front offices to deal with, and then we've seen reports that the asking price for everyone that Beaker is doing is high. And basically, Beaker holds the line and doesn't back down. And so I think teams are just going to scoff and aren't going to do anything. So, or aren't going to accept what he wants. And honestly, I feel like Beaker is kind of more than happy to do that. I mean, the biggest negative, like you said, is the young defenseman not playing. But outside of that, what is he missing out on? What kind of return are any of these players going to be going to be bringing? Nothing that great. So I guess he's just trying to hit a home run by, big asking price, because like the lost, like what there's just not much to lose, I guess I'm trying to say. So yeah, I don't think anything's going to happen.
I mean, I guess one thought process is that he wants to reward his players for playing better. I don't know if it's really better in my eyes, but so you don't want to take anyone away, but you have to bring someone in then, and this team is not good enough to bring someone in. And I guess the other thought process was Fabry. No one's going to want Fabry, and now he's hurt, so Fabry's stuck with the Ducks. I guess the Ducks did make a deal.
That's right.
They did make a deal.
Missed that one.
We talked about Gibson was hurt, so the Ducks went out and acquired Husso for future considerations. So we took on, how much money was it? Oh, it was a lot.
$3 million.
We took on $4.750 for absolutely nothing. Beaker helped out his old friend for nothing. I mean, we have the cap space, and it's actually less than that because he's not playing the whole season here. And
maybe that's where I got the $3 million. That's what we're on the hook for, maybe.
You would have thought we would have gotten like a pick or something. He's just not a good sign, I feel like. People were talking about we needed more from the Trouba deal. Taking all that money, didn't get an extra pick. So those two, it's just a little extra picks that normal GMs would get, and because he plays hardball. But in this case, he's not playing hardball, so things aren't making sense in certain situations, I guess.
I was saying that about the Trouba deal, but now that Trouba's here, don't think it was needed. He's been great with the Ducks.
I agree.
Just to be on a little bit of Beaker's defense, I guess. But yeah, I'm not very optimistic for this trade deadline whatsoever.
On the positive, Husso was very good in his first goals game. Had a shutout. The first goalie to get a shutout in his debut as a goal. So good for him. He looked really good. But then his next game, he let in 6. So I didn't watch that game as closely.
Inconsistent play. He'll fit right in.
Yep. But good for the goals. They're in a playoff push too, better than the Ducks are doing. Good for them to get some relief because Kling has been month to month. Sukos has been out the whole year, got a second surgery. And then Budietz is not ready, so he's back at the ECHL. So it was a good deal. Just felt like he was helping his old buddy in there in Detroit.
Boss, yeah. Other players that have been mentioned in the trade deadline. Strome was included in a trade board list. Yeah. I don't really see too much there. I feel like the vibes would just go way down if Strome was traded. He's such a locker room guy. Vetrano might.
Vetrano. Yeah, that's in his contract, right? You always joke, Sean.
Yeah.
But I guess the thing with Strome is that kind of says how well Strome's been playing this year, that people might actually want him. Elliot Freeman today actually said that if the Ducks were going to do something at the deadline, the Ducks would be in for a big power forward. He mentioned Ratsanen as a possibility. Wouldn't that be crazy that because the Ducks missed out on Stamkos, Marchessault, which is great, thank goodness they did, the Ducks want to turn this around, and he thinks Verbeek could be in on someone big. It's speculation, of course, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, if you're doing a deal like that, then you have to make sure that he wants to sign here as well.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's something that we've just been hearing star players don't want to do right now. But maybe the Ducks' recent better play, not being a bottom feeder team, and maybe that's more appealing now. It's like, okay, yeah, they are turning the corner and, to come there and really turn things around. But that's the only thing that's kind of holding me back from really jumping into that rumor. And also, we could have a chance to sign him in the offseason and not give up any trade capital. So
for all we know, we're on his 9-team no trade list too. So based on the last season, I feel like we're on that list.
Yeah.
People didn't like us last year.
See any other trade rumors that you've been hearing about, Kim?
No, other than, Z always in the talks, which, interesting enough, Cronin has been very nice to him recently, saying a lot of positive things. After his suspension, he said, "We'll miss Trevor. He's been terrific this year. If you were to ask me one player that's probably made the most progress, even though his stats don't reflect it, it's him." He's gone from never wanting to say anything positive about Z to all of a sudden saying something positive about Z. Is that because he wants to trade Z? Just kidding.
No, I think he's actually proud of him. Z's done literally everything that's been asked of him. His defensive game, his load's better. And I know Z and trade rumors go hand in hand, but I thought going into this deadline, I feel like it's been the most quiet on the Z trade rumors front than it has been.
Isn't that a bad sign?
Yeah, is that a bad sign? Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it was. The Ducks don't have that much value in a lot of their players. Obviously, you want to keep Carlson, Dostal, Gauthier, Lacombe. I mean, Lundestrom, he's not 27 yet, so he's an RFA. So yeah, Lundestrom, I guess, would be a possibility. You know, I already mentioned last podcast, I was kind of over with him, but the Ducks want to improve defensive play. Lundestrom does do that. McTavish obviously isn't going anywhere. Z is a possibility. Maybe a defenseman for someone big.
Most of the Ducks good players are all young, or they're all
really bad.
You know, just really bad, or they're just the vets that are like, you know, aren't going anywhere. Like, for as bad as Gudis has been, he's not going anywhere. I don't think they're going to be trading Schwarber again after his play. Frank signed the extension. Strome, doubt he's going anywhere. So yeah, you're kind of making my argument for me. All this to say is why I don't think anything is happening.
Yeah, it was fun to pretend that the Ducks maybe could do something. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see. If it was going to happen, it would probably be a couple days before the deadline, because based on Verbeek of past years, all his bigger deals are before. He only makes AHL deals day of.
Yeah, and that's coming up, right? The 7th,
the day they play the Blues. And I guess you kind of mentioned it briefly, the athletic poll.
Yeah, I'm using that as some justification on why I don't think a deal is getting done, because Ducks were voted the worst front office to deal with, that they're old school, play hardball.
The poll was based on 19 agents, so in some ways that's actually good that he wants to play hardball with the agents. You know, you don't want to give them too much money.
It's a negotiation, right? So you can't be too much one way or the other. Especially like these agents, you know, they're agents for multiple players. So rub one of them the wrong way, one of their other players comes up to you, then they might not even want to talk to you.
Yeah, so the Ducks were voted most unstable franchise or poorly run franchise by one lower than the Buffalo, so that's not a great sign. And one of the quotes was, "The Ducks are not well run and are so difficult to deal with." And then the next one, "What is the most difficult front office to deal with in the league?" The Ducks had 8, the next closest was 4 with Carolina. Which Carolina is good, so I said something. Verbeek is ridiculous. He draws lines in the sand and sticks by it irrationally. When I started, everyone was angry and telling you to go F themselves, one agent said. So I kind of missed that. Anaheim, personality-wise, they're tough. It's cranky and runs the show by himself. And assistant GM Jeff Salmer is a grinder. I like those two guys, but tough. And I appreciate their a-holes.
That's an old school hockey guy. Only a hockey player could, crack a smile when someone goes and tells you to F off, right?
Yep. There's one more. The guy that makes Anaheim tough is Jeff Solomon. He does all their contracts. Something as simple as doing entry-level deals. They're always something they nickel and dime you on. On entry-level deals? It's not a good look.
That's nickel and dime, and that's for sure.
That's crazy.
In terms of the NHL.
And then we have, it's kind of an interesting one.
Yeah, probably my least favorite one that I just don't understand. Yeah, I think they were voted the 4th worst ownership group in the league. But I remember one of the quotes was saying that the ownership group is like not involved in the hockey operations at all, and they were saying that as a negative. But to me, that's a positive. Like, I don't really want.
To some degree.
You don't have to look any further than across the street on why that's a bad idea. Artie Moreno got involved with baseball decisions, and that's what landed them the Albert Pujols contract, the Josh Hamilton contract, C.J. Wilson contracts. So I don't think the Samuelis don't have that big of a hockey background, so I don't think we want them making NHL player decisions. And also, the amount of money that they're investing in the vibe and that they have done in the community is insane. So in that regard, I feel like they have just been great owners, embracing Orange County too, all that. So whoever said that can go kick rocks.
It's funny because the worst owner had 10 votes, and that was Carolina Hurricanes again. A lot. And they're good. I just don't get, that's crazy. Yeah. And then, Samueli had 2. They said, ownership that isn't involved when they should be frustrates me. Like, get involved. Like, to some degree, you need to be involved, but I'd rather not be just based on the Angels.
Yeah. I remember for the draft day, they were there and like the decision room, that one video they showed. So I feel like somewhat involved, but I don't want them telling Verbeek or anyone in the front office on who they should be drafting or who they should be signing or trading for. Are they saying that because like the Ducks are so low on cap?
Maybe internal cap. There's rumors about that.
But I just don't believe that. The Samuels have been owners for a long time now, and that just hasn't been the case. They will open up the pocketbook. I don't think there's any limits on it right now. That one kind of stood out to me as just being crazy.
Yeah, I think that kind of hits all the notes we had. Ducks have been inconsistently consistent, or however you want to say it.
Consistently inconsistent.
Inconsistent. There you go. The opposite of what I said.
Yeah, we hit the trade rumors, hit the athletic poll. I think the only big thing was for people that go to Ducks games or for people that are season ticket holders is there was a big price increase for season tickets. And there will be a big price increase for single game tickets for everyone because now the Vibe construction is still ongoing. The parking structures are going to be done. So now your ticket will include parking whether or not you want it. So
so now you're forced to park at a parking structure. I'm mad about that.
So I'm not happy about that. I mean, I usually don't park at Honda Center because the traffic flow there is so bad. So I hope that gets improved. And I just don't know parking in the garage, how that's going to work. You know, they always make this push for like use the Arctic. So now even if you take public transportation, you're still paying for parking there. So some of it doesn't make sense. And the way they're marketing it, it's just been like a slap in the face for me because their marketing is like, oh, parking included. And it's like, how many people park at the arena? All our season ticket holder friends, none of them park there. Mm-hmm. So
for context, our tickets went up 40%. 40% because it includes parking that we've never paid for and don't want to pay for. And we're being forced to. I mean, it's great, all the updates, but I mean, give a season ticket holders a discount for a year. Make it $200 one year, then the next. I mean, all at once is just crazy to me.
I guess to play devil's advocate, even though I'm very much against it, is that change is coming. The OC vibe is coming, and it's going to be huge. So, like, the places that all those lots that people are parking at, that are those third-party lots that are on the outskirts, I don't think those are going to be there anymore because the OC vibe is just going to take over. I'm hoping that with the OC vibe that, they're working with the city of Anaheim on improving the congestion in that area. That's my hope. But if you're going to want to park at one of those third-party lots on the outskirts, it's going to be a much longer walk into Honda Center. So while this is going to suck, I think on the early get-go, in the future, I don't think the alternatives are going to be much, much better.
Anyway, if prices go up, that means the Ducks are playing better, right? Is that the price for the Ducks getting better?
You're just getting parking, Kim. Let's not be crazy.
I mean, standings-wise, they have the same amount of points they did last year already, right? Or is that just goaltending? Oh,
yeah, well, when the OC Vi comes, that's when the Stanley Cup's coming, right? Batman's going to make it so.
But, 500 Ducks team sounds good to me, even if they don't look great half the time. 50% good, 50% bad.
They used to not look great the whole time. So yeah. I'll take 500.
They get out of their funk quicker than they used to.
That's how teams are getting better, right? The losing streaks get shorter and the winning streaks get longer. So let's just hope that keeps up. I mean, the Ducks being in this position, if you had told me before the season, I would have been sign me up. I would have been ecstatic. So yeah, we're getting spoiled as Ducks fans, I think, Kim.
Oh yeah, that's it. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm really 50-50 on this Ducks right now. This trade deadline is going to say a lot. March 8th, Pat Verbeek is going to talk to the season ticket holders.
That's right. Yeah.
So the day after the deadline. So if he does nothing, boo! Just kidding.
You're going to get kicked. You're going to get kicked out.
Yeah, right. But yeah. So yeah, that'll be interesting the day after. Usually it's before the trade deadline. So it's interesting. Maybe he wants to be more busy.
Yeah, we'll see. That's about to do it. We'll get into the Discord questions. As always, which is one current NHL player you wish could be on the team?
Probably Connor McDavid. But also at the same time, that's a lot of money, I guess, if you want to think about it smart. But yeah, Connor McDavid, best player in the league.
I was thinking about the same way. Besides McDavid or McKinnon, Brady Tkachuk really won me over. Nice. Really won me over Four Nations, and I feel like he fits that Verbeek mold. And I also thought someone else that stood out to me at Four Nations, and I kind of thought this one you might say, but bring back Rickard Rakell.
Yeah, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Trade deadline. 30 goal scorer, Rickard Rakell. It'd be crazy. I feel like he'd be a perfect fit with Leo. Funny story is that Leo was hanging out with Ricky at Four Nations. He's recruiting.
Also, the Penguins, Penguins should be selling, so, it could happen. Let's see. Next question. Kim, tell me about your favorite Ducks moment.
Favorite? Oh. Come back on Catella. That's right. I didn't leave the arena like half the fans did. I stayed. I watched the whole thing. Absolutely insane.
See, there was the playoff series. against the Predators where Bobby Ryan scored that insane goal. I don't think I've ever heard Ponda Center more electric than that. One where Bobby Ryan like dekes back and forth three times and then puts it in there and smashes into the glass. Like with each deke, like the arena just got louder and louder until he finally scored. That was just so electric. It's hard not to say Solani Jiggy retirement lap. That was just my childhood, just like skating off into the distance. That one, I don't know what it was with the AC system or something that night, but it's just like really dusty in there, or maybe the kitchen was petting too many onions or something, but probably have to go with that one.
Good one. It's a good one. Are you excited about the new changes coming to Ponda? Yeah, we kind of talked about it. I mean, in general, yes.
We talked about not being excited about it.
The parking stuff, no. But I mean, the Ducks they're investing inside Ponda. Hopefully some better food be coming. Self-served beer, which we tried out last game. So that was fun. That was
pretty cool. If you're going to drink
28.
If you're going to drink a lot, then that's the best deal in Ponda. Yeah. 2 for $28. Additional refills, $12.
It's a pain in the butt to get to. Really caused the traffic jam walking through Ponda. But if you can get there, like our seats are exactly the opposite corner, so we will never do that again. It's a pain in the butt to walk into the other corner, but
it is nice how you can just walk up to it and for your refills, or I guess for your second refill. I don't know how it would work with the third and
you'd have to buy
refills
extra at the same time, maybe. I don't know. But based on the pictures they've sent season ticket holders, it's gonna be like black walls, like literally gotta change everything. And based on the construction, we still think there's gonna be escalators, maybe.
Just some of the stairwells being blocked out. Yeah, I think it's good. I think I'm more excited about the renovations surrounding Honda Center, although it's just going to be a cool place to hang out. I don't know how they're going to do the river walk and how they're going to make the water that blue. But if they can pull that off, that would be insane. It's going to become like the place to go in Orange County. It's going to be Orange County's downtown that it's never had. It's going to be in Anaheim. So if they can pull it off, it's going to be super exciting.
Yep. I mean, we're excited. Parking thing obviously frustrates us a lot, but yes, it is great. I mean, it's going to make us getting an all-star game, NHL events. I guess we can't get the draft anymore because that's decentralized, but on long term, it's good for the Ducks. All right.
Who do you think we are losing next expansion?
It's got to be young defensemen, right? We have too many.
If history repeats itself, a young defenseman is going.
Shane Theodore.
So does that mean it's going to be Zelly? I feel like Zelly fits the Theodore mold the most, so we're losing Zelly. I also didn't realize the expansion is like happening again that quickly. I also think it's probably going to be someone that's not even on our radar as much.
Yeah, but I also think it's at the worst time for the Ducks. It's kind of scary. It seems like it's going to kind of screw us a little bit. Yeah. Like everyone else, I guess.
Maybe a Solberg.
Yeah, never know. Or, well, good thing news is we don't have a Stoner or a Bieska taking up a contract slot, right? Because Udis, Killorn, and Strome, should all be gone. We'll see.
I feel like we've covered the next question. How is OZ Vibe construction going? It's really the parking structure the only things I think they've started. I mean, they got to finish them by next year because if I'm paying for it, better be ready.
Watch. Man, that'd be crazy. Imagine they don't finish that. If they don't finish that and they're charging for it. Like, we already had to pay for our one.
Well, you would still get parking. Like,
well, yeah,
I wonder if it's not going to be finished.
That's
and
terrible.
You're going to have to park it. Yeah, you're going to have to park it on.
That's even worse, probably.
Now, I can see that happening now that you say that. Oh,
it sounds like a city thing to do, or Ducks things to do too. So
there seems to be more ways to get in and out. That's the main problem. Like when it's a weeknight game and I'm coming from work, like there's no way I can park at the arena. I would miss the first period. I barely get there on time as it is.
Based on the map, it looks like there'll be 3 entrances and exits out of the big parking structure. It's huge. It's really big, but
OA should get valet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that'd be nice, huh?
Let's see. And the last question, if Getzlaf would become GM, a.k.a. the Getzlaf Initiative, would the Ducks be better or worse? Plus, would Perry come back?
Better. I think the vibes would be better because everyone loves Getsy, right? Or would we learn to hate him? Oh, I don't know. Sure, we'll say it'd be better, and I don't think he brings Perry home.
I think the team would be better at face-offs.
That's true.
A lot of wisdom that he'd be able to pass down, especially to Leo being a bigger centerman. But would they be better overall? I don't even know how much
Getsy knows. Yeah.
I was thinking how much influence Verbeek has even had on this team quite yet. So I don't know how much of a change there really would be. I bet you Getzlaf wouldn't put as much stress on being better defensively. Lord knows he didn't put in all the defensive effort in the world some games. So he was definitely a grinder to play against, but he was definitely more offensively gifted. So,
yeah, he'd make everyone pass 5 times before you can shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
And
maybe
maybe
the Ducks
rockets.
would be shooting even less. Yeah,
Everyone has to shave your head. Upgrades you want to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss you gets.
Yep, hopefully he gets back to the Ducks someday, because he is with the Department of Player Safety, so he's the one that suspended Z and Paris.
Just be consistent, that's all.
Yep, they have been this year, so props to them, actually.
All right, Kim, anything else you want to get off your chest?
Just make Ducks hockey watchable. That's all I ask.
The next time we do this podcast, do the Ducks still have a chance at the playoffs?
Realistically, that's probably like 2 weeks out. Ugh, no. They still have 500, but I think other teams are going to play better. And the reason why the Ducks are in the playoffs because the West sucks.
Yeah, no one's running away with it.
What do you think, Sean? What do you think? Ducks still be in it?
Well, if you're taking the negative, I'll take the positive. I'll be the one that's going to look like an idiot in 2 weeks. But, yeah, the Ducks will keep slim playoff hopes alive. I think it will go down, but I think they'll still be there.
I mean, unless Verbeek does something crazy, like we kind of mentioned, maybe he goes crazy like Friedman speculates. Then okay, if he goes all in, I don't like that, but all right, they better make the playoffs.
Maybe he doesn't, or maybe he doesn't. The Ducks go on a miracle run, and they make another movie about him.
Wow, there we go.
Yeah.
D4 coming out.
All right, let's wrap this thing up, Kim. It's already been going long enough. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thanks to our members. Please like, subscribe, do all of the podcast stuff. Thank you for watching and listening, and go Ducks!